Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is AJ, and today we're having a pretty interesting challenge to take. We are going to visit quite exotic country when it comes to the football, and this is India. For the last week, I immersed myself into this nation's database and managed to find some interesting players from India that I would like to talk about today. Who knows, maybe they're gonna help you in your save, so off we go. Before we are going to start, I would like to tell you that Indian football is quite an interesting beast. There is a great expression that says there are levels to this, and during this week I definitely learned that there is levels to how bad the league and the players can be. I'm saying that not in a disrespectful way, because we all know that there is other types of sports that popular in India, and football is definitely not one of them. According to the database, Indian league and Indian players are not very good, and I can tell you that even the best players at best can perform only in the second tier of Scottish divisions. So you can guess how bad the Indian teams are. But nevertheless, during this week I managed to find some interesting Indian players and foreign players that represents Indian League. And today we're going to talk about them. So I'm going to mix them. There will be no specifically rankings in this video. Definitely while moving forward we're going to find out a little bit better players. But overall none of them are perfect. And I'm not going to recommend you to buy them. All the recommendations I'm going to provide today are going to be dedicated to the players that you can buy for free, or the players whose contract will run out soon and you're going to be able to sign them on free in a year or a little bit more. Well, right away we're going to start with the hot take, and this one is going to be Akash Mishra from Mumbai. Well, he's going to be out of the action for the next 6 up to 8 months, but nevertheless, even after the injury, he's still going to be one of the most completed left backs in Indian football. I think despite all the problems and injury, he's still going to be a pretty nice fullback with good acceleration, pace, crossing, and even dribbling. Don't mind 6 for crossing actually. Crossing is pretty good, and in my save he performed really well. He was not the top of the top, but definitely for the lower leagues, for small reputation clubs, he's still gonna get the job done. In general, when it comes to this kind of players, physical attributes are probably the most important ones, and despite the injury, I still really like him in 3D matches, and I think he's gonna perform well for your club. When it comes to the price, once again, I'm definitely not gonna recommend you to sign him for money, but as an option and for free, why not? Next recommendation is going to be for Indian market only. I'm talking about Abneet Bharti, and you can sign him for free. Pretty well balanced player for Indian Championship, with experience playing in 3rd League of Argentina and also in Czech Republic. Pretty similar story to the previous player, relatively nice physical attributes. He also didn't perform incredibly well in 2nd tier of Scotland, but when it comes to the smaller leagues, he's still gonna fit in pretty nicely, and probably he also wouldn't mind joining small clubs with low reputation. Another pretty interesting pick is going to be Mario Barco from Kashi, Spaniard striker that really impressed me in 3D matches. When I first picked him up, I was not sure if it will make sense to add him to the list, but as soon as I tried to use him into the match, he fits really well and he performed really well. He scored a lot of goals, and I think it's going to be safe to say that Onyx still got it, so welcome to the list. And I think he's going to be a nice addition for free transfer for some clubs, so if you're going to have a chance to sign him for free at the end of his career, I think he's still going to perform pretty nicely on the lower level. Next play is also pretty much recommendation for free transfers for very low leagues, but still Aniket Bharti is probably one of the most talented youngsters of Indian football nowadays. I think for his age he has relatively good physical and technical attributes. He can perform well as a striker. He did relatively well in the 3rd tier of Scottish football, so I think it's still gonna be a nice idea to sign Aniket if you're playing in the very low leagues and you need to bring some talented youngsters to the team. Another interesting decision is to include Chema Nunez from Guwahati into this list. I think he's really suitable for central attacking midfielder, and I think it's going to be a great position for him. He's still relatively young, so there is still some room for improvement, for growth. So potentially, if he's going to be released on free transfer, there is someone you can keep an eye on. I tried to use him in different positions, but I didn't recommend you to use him as a striker or winger, central attacking midfielder. It's a great position for him. He created a lot of chances, he participated well into attacks, and in 3D matches his performance was relatively good. I think he has a great passing, technique, flair, so technically gifted player for the attacking teams that still can perform on a good level, and I think for the potential free transfer is going to be a nice idea to sign him. Fifth place of our list goes to Taran Williams, the last free agent we're gonna talk about today, and probably the most talented youngster of Indian football in general. I think Taran Williams is relatively balanced. For his age, he's doing just fine. For his age, he still can perform on a relatively good level, and if he's going to be involved in a good team in the young age, I think he's still gonna be able to help you in the lower leagues, but still he's capable to develop and bring some good qualities to the team, which are tackling, vision, work rate, natural fitness, and once again free transfers that you need to keep in mind. So we're getting closer to the end, so we might see some familiar faces, which is Jason Cummings from Kolkata. A pretty well-known Australian striker that been really good in the past version of Football Manager, and I remember that for the most part he's been considered a great striker, and I can tell you that in this version of Football Manager he got a downgrade, probably because he joined Indian club, but nevertheless 29 years of age, still some time to improve or at least keep the same level that he's got right now. He didn't perform incredibly, but still, even in the second tier of Scottish football, he did nicely and managed to perform on a good level. Still decent attributes, especially mental aspects and finishing, and even despite the fact that he is not as good as he's been before, he's still going to be able to deliver and help you to achieve your goals. And the third spot and the last Indian player we're going to talk about today is going to be Jagveer Singh from Helsingør. Despite the fact that his attributes might seem not very good, but I can tell you he's probably the only one Indian player that managed to perform really well in the second Scottish division. He got involved in a lot of attacks and goals, and overall seemed like a really nice player. Nice dribbling, acceleration, still good natural fitness, so as a right winger I think he's the best representative of his country overall. Second spot goes to the player that I wanted to brought up for a very long time, and this is Miguel Figueira from Bengal. For the first time I encountered this Brazilian when I was playing in Football Manager 24th in Japanese League. I remember that I were able to sign him for a very low price from Indonesian clubs, and he seemed like incredible player back in the days. He has incredibly well balanced stats, he's a great central midfielder, but nowadays I think in this version he also got downgraded a little bit, but nevertheless I still believe that you can sign him for very cheap amount of money, and he's gonna bring a lot to your team no matter where you're gonna play. He's gonna be able to join you in the very low divisions and still gonna bring some quality to help you to improve and grow further. In Football Manager 24, he helped me to get from the second division of Japan to the championship in Japan, so I really respect the guy. I think he's great. Even despite of the downgrade, I think he's great, and I definitely recommend you to sign him in your future saves. When I started this search, I never expect that this player will win today's list, but nevertheless he was really great in the 3D matches, and this is Kevin Padilla Madrid from Thrissur Magic. I think he really showed his best qualities in the position of wide central midfielder, and if you're looking for someone for this position, I think he's gonna suit you really well. Once again, I think he's a little bit expensive, but in a year his contract is about to run off, so if you're gonna be able to sign him, I think you're gonna receive an incredible, well-rounded, well-balanced, really nice central midfielder. Despite a little bit of injury proneness, I think he's great. I think he is really good with the long shot, with visions, with participation in attack, and I still think that it was the best find I got from this league. So guys, as you can see, today's list were relatively short, and I'm sorry for being a little bit more pessimistic today, but I think I proved that even in a very low league, you're still going to be able to find some talented players, and it doesn't matter where we go, and we're always going to try to look for the players for this specific level, for this specific league. I do remember that when I'm trying to play some saves and I'm playing in very low leagues and I really have a harsh time finding anyone who would like to sign with us, I think players like this gonna come handy, and who knows, maybe in your future saves you're gonna be able to take someone from this list and allow you to achieve the milestones you're looking for. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Put the like, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends about this channel. There will be much more countries, much more teams, and who knows, maybe in the future we're gonna do some new format regarding the career on this channel. Thank you so much guys, take care and goodbye.